channel. My name is Candace, aka Diamond Candy if you are new here, and if you are a returning loyal subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in again. You are a real one. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some advice. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram and on the YouTube community post page, and I got some good ones, so I'm going to be answering probably about like 5 of them because I want to give like a good answer. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so question number 1 was from, I'm not sure if I should say, I'm actually going to keep it anonymous. So she says, if you're answering advice on relationships, what does it mean when he says he loves you but 2 days later wants to take a break? Now, I'm just going to give you guys my opinion, just so y'all know this is just my opinion. But since he is about the games, like he just doesn't know what he wants, he's confused. He, like I said, doesn't know what he wants and he's conflicted. And one thing you don't want to do is deal with somebody that is conflicted, that moves like the wind, that's shifty. It's not a good look. For me, like in order for me to like really trust you, you have to be solid. You have to be consistent. And if somebody isn't showing you consistent emotions, like consistent actions towards how they say that they feel, then I would say make sure you keep a healthy distance between you and that person. Make sure you put in place boundaries, because you don't want to get your hopes up, falling for all this stuff, you know, y'all laid up at night caking on the phone. You don't want to fall for those kind of things and then get your heart ripped out when he is acting like a totally different person in 2 days, like you said. So I would say keep a healthy distance. I'm not saying completely cut him off. I would probably completely cut that person off, but I can't tell you what to do. But at least keep a healthy distance and let that person know that I'm not about the games. I don't have the time. Make sure he knows that. Question number 2 was how to be more confident in yourself when you have low self-esteem. And I have a couple things that I feel like will help with that. The first one is surround yourself with people that treat you well, people that think highly of you, people that understand you. I feel like that's very, very, very important. And if it's only 1 or 2 people, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be a whole gang of people. So that is important. And also spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself. I feel like when you have a low self-esteem, it's because you view yourself in a wrong light, because I feel like when you truly get to know yourself, then you truly accept yourself, and then that's when the confidence starts to come through. So spend time with yourself. Just get to be your best friend, basically. I'm giving you guys very simple answers because I feel like when it comes to confidence and self-esteem, it really is usually a deeper issue, and this isn't something that I can, you know, diagnose over a camera. If you can go see a therapist, I would highly recommend that. I feel like therapy is very, very, very helpful. Everybody doesn't have that at their disposal though. So I would say read self-help books and really try and get to understand and get to the root of what's causing those issues. Also, stay true to yourself and don't compare yourself to other people. I feel like when you have a low confidence, you might try and mimic other people, whether it be their style or their way that they carry themselves or whatever, to try and mimic that, to try and get the confidence too. But the best way to be confident is to be yourself. So whether it be your style, stick to the style that makes you feel the most comfortable. Don't try and change for anybody, because I feel like in the past I've done that and it's really made me feel self-conscious when I go out in public, because I'm like, this isn't even true to who I am. I'm really just, you know, trying to build my confidence in ways that isn't true to who I am. So stick to who you are, stick to what makes you comfortable, and just continue to grow. All those kind of things come with growth, come with age. All of it is a process. Self-love is a process. And this is just a little plug, but I'm actually working on a self-love workbook. So it's going to be like a 30-day kind of workbook to try and help you through the process of healing and of coming back to who you really are and your true authentic self, and accepting and loving yourself. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that in the fall. I'm really, really excited about it. But let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 is, what do you do when a guy isn't answering your calls or texting back? Sis, you gotta stop calling. You can't keep calling, baby girl. Can't. Delete the number, block the number, that person doesn't want to speak to you, you have to accept the fact that that person doesn't want to speak to you. And what you'll have to work on is not letting that affect how you feel about yourself. So just because somebody isn't allowing you access to them doesn't mean that you are any less than or anything like that. And you know, that will come with, you know, time, you feeling like, all right, F that person. But the first step is to stop calling, stop texting, delete the number, block, 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 block. Don't deal with it, because constant rejection is something that's just going to tear down your self-esteem, and nobody is worth that. Nobody. Question number 4 is, how do you deal with regrets, choices that you've made that affect your future? This is also something that's going to be in my self-love workbook, but I think the beginning to dealing with like your regrets is kind of sitting with it. I think for me, there's a lot of things in my past that I regret. There's a lot of time that I feel like I wasted, because as you guys probably know, I went to college for something completely different than what I'm doing now, and I felt very lost. I felt very confused, and sometimes I wasn't doing well in classes. I was like slacking off. And I think the first step is sitting with those things. So I would say sit down, write down all the things that you regret, all the things that you feel shame for, everything that you feel guilty about, and really just like allow yourself to feel and process those emotions that come with it until they don't affect you as much, until you can go down that list and you can you know, feel a little bit more stable when you read it and when you think about it. And then one by one, just start to like find a way to think about it positively. So for me, for example, I would probably write down something like, I regret not having the courage to pursue my passions earlier. And then once the emotions from that kind of die down and stabilize, I can try and think rationally about it and say, okay, well, that time where I wasn't courageous enough to pursue my passions was a time for me to learn and grow and understand what it is that I really wanted. So either forgiving yourself or flipping it to find a new way to look at it, because that's really all it is perception. So there's a negative way to look at it, and then there's a positive way to look at it. You have to actively try and find the positive in those things. So I would say write it down, look at it, try and find a more positive way to think about it, and or forgive yourself for whatever it is. I hope this making sense. Is it making sense? I'll be knowing. Question number 5 is, any tips on staying motivated when you feel stagnant? I would say, I think when motivation starts to kind of fade, that's when your dedication has to kind of pick up the slack. So when you are dedicated to something, you have a routine. So you are used to doing those type of things in order to get you the results that you want. So even if you don't necessarily feel super inspired, you already have systems in place that make you do it just because it's on the schedule, if that makes any sense. So for me, I try my hardest to have a routine, especially being self-employed. When I have my whole day free, I really try and make certain days for certain things and stick to that schedule regardless if I feel like doing it or not. Because you won't always feel motivated to do something, but you have to do it. Like if it's something that's important to you, you know you want to do it, but you might not always be in that mind frame. So creating a schedule, creating a structure so it can kind of pick up the slack for you when you don't really feel inspired to create something new. You can kind of just go with what you were already doing and just kind of going through the motions, maybe even if it's not necessarily all there. And then sometimes you might actually really need to take a break and really kind of reevaluate where it is that you want to go and reevaluate everything. Kind of just sit still and be able to look and see like, okay, I want to do more of this or I want to do less of that. What's going to make me feel more inspired? What's going to make me feel more motivated? And then go forward with those things. So I don't think that stagnant is really a good word because it has like a negative connotation. But you can take pauses, and if you can't afford to take a pause, you just need to grind it out, sis. Alright, so I think I'm going to answer one more. This one says, dating advice, learning yourself through casual dating and knowing when you might have found your person. So, casual dating. I'm not like a casual dater. I think I have once I kind of find somebody that I like, I kind of just be stuck on that person even if I shouldn't. So I think casual dating is actually something that's healthy, and I think when you kind of limit the attachment that you have to a person and you're just able to have fun and mix and mingle and not have such high expectations, it allows you to kind of like take a step back and really have a clear vision of what you want. I think when you kind of go into a situation with too many expectations and, you know, expecting too much from the situation, you kind of get attached to that person even maybe if you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So I feel like casual dating is good, so you can kind of just be floating around like, oh, I like that, like, okay, I like that, okay, I like that. As long as it's not compromising your morals or anything like that, as long as you don't feel bad doing it or whatever, it don't feel icky, then I feel like it's something that's healthy. Like, figure it out, like, kind of get out there and see what you want. I think so many people kind of put the emphasis on, like, you have to find your right person, you have to find your right person, but it's like, sometimes I feel like it takes trial and error to realize what you actually want and what you actually need. The need is the issue, like, that's the problem. I was kind of like finding people that I felt like I wanted, but then they weren't really what I needed. And I think when you find that person that is right for you, I just feel like you're gonna feel it just like in the depths of like who you are. I feel like things are gonna shift. I feel like there's gonna be something that's different. It may not even just be fireworks. There might be just like it's just gonna be a difference. I'm not sure if that was a good answer, but I think casual dating is a good thing. I think it's healthy. Figure out what you want, and when you find that right person, I feel like God, you will feel it, and that person will be for you, and you guys will want the same things. You guys will align on certain things. You guys will be able to teach each other in certain ways. It'll just feel like you're equal. So, I've been talking a lot. So I think that was like a good amount of questions, right? I don't know. I feel like I want to answer more. I want to do more videos like this where I can just chat with you guys, give you guys advice. Maybe I should come up with like a name for it, like a series. If you guys have any suggestions for what I should call my advice column, then put it down in the comment box. And make sure you guys stay tuned for my self-love workbook. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to have a link below for you to sign up to the newsletter so you guys can have updates and you can be the first one to get it on pre-sale once it comes out. It's going to be dope. I promise it's gonna change your life. Like, I'm really putting my heart and my soul into it, so I'm so excited about that. If you guys want another advice video, make sure you comment down some questions, things that you want tips on or whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Mwah.